Hey, what is up, guys? This is Troy. Welcome to my channel. My channel is actually about perfumes and fragrance reviews, but I mean, definitely, while I was doing all of this, I was also preparing for the biggest task of my life, the biggest challenge of my life, and that's basically passing the NCLEX, the RN NCLEX exam. Okay, and really, it feels like, because I found out today that I passed. Like, it feels like really going against all odds, like all the craziest odds, to pass this exam. If you are one of my subscribers on the fragrance thing, I mean, you guys don't have to watch this. I'm basically making this video for a lot of those the nursing graduates, whatever age you are, or no matter like how far you are from nursing school. Like, it's been so long. I know that somehow, somewhere, there's somebody around the world that is in this situation, especially now. And so I feel like it's important for me to pass on like the knowledge that I went through, because I feel like it's pretty unique as well. So my story, first and foremost, is that I'm a father of two. I have a family at this point, two beautiful kids. And it's been so long since nursing school. Okay, like years. It's been years since nursing school. And when I graduated nursing, I basically succeeded in business. So I really, first off, at that time, I was a pretty young guy. I wasn't so interested in the nursing profession, but I still took nursing school. And as a really young guy, and then I got successful in business, I felt like the interest wasn't there, so I never really like took it. But as I got older, I had kids. I had kids. My parents were getting old. My sister is an amazing ICU nurse. And so, like, gradually the interest kept coming back, and to the point where, like, especially now, like, I live, in a town, in a city where, like, a lot of my, like, kids' parents, they're in the nursing field as well, and it's great to see, like, those families as well. So shout outs to you guys. And so I really had this inspiration to do this, but the big fear was that it's been a while. Like, this, everything I knew about nursing was almost like, it was really at the deep crevices of my head. Like, it's so deep in there that, to be honest, I didn't have a lot, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so stupid for not doing this, for not taking this exam. Like, I have this really unique opportunity. Like, how many people are trying to get into nursing school? How many people are trying to pass nursing school? And I did that. I have my degree. I gotta take this test, not just for me, but for my family. Okay, so I went through the process, and I failed the first time. That was like 2 months ago. Okay, and primarily I failed because of, it's true what they say, guys. Okay, there's only two ways you're gonna fail this. Number one is your content is just not enough. You don't have enough content. And then number two, you can't read the questions right, or you failed to read the questions right. Okay, you didn't understand what they were asking on the questions. Okay, for me, here's the thing. Like, I believed at that time, because I read all the hype, all the YouTube, all the reviews saying that, like, Uworld was the only key. That's the only thing you need. Okay, and this is not a knock on Uworld. It's just that I had a unique situation, which was, I really did not have the content. And so the bad thing I did was that I believed in the magic pill. At least for me, it was a magic pill. I thought that if I get 60 and up % on Uworld, and I would finish the question bank, and I would read all the rationales, that come NCLEX time, it would be like easy, like I would pass it. And I was totally wrong. Okay, by doing that, well, I basically signed my death warrant right there, because I didn't know a lot of core. It means that, because on the NCLEX itself, they're not going to ask you like questions that are exactly worded the same way on the reviewers. So that's right then and there, that you can't memorize like stuff. You can't memorize questions. You can't memorize like rationales and then come out on the test. And also the NCLEX is random, so you know they'll throw all sorts of subjects at you. So obviously I failed. I mean, the NCLEX itself, the first time was it got shut off at 75 questions, obviously because I was failing so bad. And the questions seemed easy, easy as hell, super easy. And then 75, you know, I was done in less than an hour. And I thought like that was an easy NCLEX. And then the person, the proctors told me like, wow, you're the first one out of here. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I called my family. I was like, yeah, it was kind of easy. Man, wrong. So back in November when I got the result, it was like boom, like it hit me, you know, it really hit me. Like there's no way I could pass it that way. And I need like an overhaul. I really need an overhaul, but you know, due to the constraints that I had, it was like, no, I have to, you know, I can't like let time pass by. I can't let this defeat knock me down. And I really admitted to it. You know, it was like I really believed in that, you know, that magic pill stuff. And it's like, you know, I realized too, like as a YouTube reviewer for perfumes, like, oh my gosh, like a lot of my suggestions people really buy. I mean, I read the comments and like, wow, they, you know, with their hard-earned money, they buy a lot of my suggestions. So the YouTube has a lot of, you know, really like strong impact in my opinion. And that's why I'm doing this video, because I'm going to use this platform to hopefully, you know, put this message out there for those that are needing it. So anyways, with the overhaul, guys, the reviewer to get for me, okay, and this one I found out just by doing a Google search about, you know, taking it the second time, how to pass it. And on the ads, you know, they said they had a 99.99% like pass rate on second time users. That was like the main ad that I got. And well, I guess you can add me now on that 99.99%. And that that was basically Remar. Okay, Remar nursing reviewer is, to me, that was like one of the big keys, guys, to passing the NCLEX a second time, being removed from school for such a long time. Remar was it for me. Okay, and basically Remar, and I'll make a whole series about the reviewers, guys, and I'll really like break them down. This is like a general video, but like Remar, the thing about Remar is that they have this course called the virtual trainer. Okay, so there's a virtual trainer, and then, you know, there's all these other added goodies. Okay, that's just super duper key, super duper. Okay, the virtual trainer is basically like a set of videos, probably like 30 videos. Okay, it's progressive. And she goes through everything you need to know core content wise, because that's where I failed. Okay, I didn't have the core content, and she was just like, you know, this is the core content. But you know what, like for somebody that's so like far away, like it's been a while since I graduated nursing school, there were a few keys in that virtual trainer that was so key. Number one is the nursing fundamentals course. Okay, so it's free, it comes with the virtual trainer, and it's like another set of like 20 videos, and it's called Nursing School Fundamentals Course, just to catch you up on everything that you missed on nursing school. And so I took that, and I was surprised, you know, it was a wake-up call, because I was so surprised at how much, like, A, I didn't know, B, I forgot already, and C, how much I needed to master these fundamentals before even taking the NCLEX, the virtual trainer. So on top of that, they do have these amazing books that they send you. Okay, so you get this virtual online trainer, then you get physical books. Okay, so the virtual trainer, I don't know if I have it here. Yeah, the virtual trainer, it comes with this book. And so basically, as you know, as Regina is basically lecturing on the virtual trainer, you're also like answering it here. And then she also has, and I don't know where it's at right now, but probably one of the most important books on the planet is Quick Facts by Remar as well. Because that one, I mean, I really committed that to memory, that entire book. Okay, so the fundamentals course, guys, is key. All right, Every video in Remar around that virtual trainer, and this is for the other Remar nurses that are reviewing as well, all the other video like series sets around it, guys, do not ignore it, okay? If you can, go through that nursing fundamentals course. There's also like a video set on what to do before the books arrive. Do that too, okay? Do that as well as those other like extra videos that she has. I mean, really, it is key, especially if it's been a while since nursing school. Like, go through that process, not just the virtual trainer. I mean, you guys already paid for it, right? It's quite expensive. Now, the virtual trainer, guys, is so key. She really does explain everything from a core content point of view, everything you need to know, no nonsense, exactly what they advertised at Remar. But let me tell you about the secret sauce of Remar, okay? The secret sauce of Remar is that in between those videos, you've got this practice exam or a bunch of practice exams. And I will tell you, after trying Uworld, after trying like those other like KAPLAN, like all those questions, like answering thousands of questions a week, Remar to me was the hardest. Okay, it was the hardest. It was Remar questions were the ones that I really wanted to curse and shout and, you know, get mad at, because they were not only difficult but or challenging, so to speak, but she demanded perfection, because you cannot go through the videos without passing the test, and the test has a percentage rate. And the crazy thing about Remar is that her percentage rate is 95%, guys. So she would have all these like practice tests, like 20 points, 40 points, and they're all like 95%. So like you could make only like literally one mistake on a lot of these practice tests, like one mistake, that was it. And of course, like, man, if you're, you know, not really that good, I mean, dude, you're gonna get frustrated. These tests will keep repeating themselves before you even continue to the next part. So I think that's the secret sauce of Remar. Like, I had to really look them up, master them, understand the frustration that, man, you know what? I have to be better than this. I really do have to know this material. And those crazy tests really, really helped me. Just having that thought that, man, I have to be perfect. I have to be 95% on this, you know? That really, really helped with the psychology coming into NCLEX right there, okay? Those Remar tests. So hopefully Regina is watching this, like and the thing is too, is that I think she made her own questions, because a lot of those questions that she had, like, I didn't see them in other reviewers. Well, some I did, but I think she makes her own questions to make you critically think, which is key in this NCLEX exam. So those tests were absolutely nuts. So again, quick facts, guys, and then the virtual trainer, like, that was like my core reviewer. I did not renew my Uworld anymore, because I mean, I finished the question bank. I didn't want to get through that, you know, that magic pill mentality. So to me, like, the mentality was like, you reap what you sow. You know, you put in the hard work, the real deal hard work that, you know, you put your hard work into, and God will do the rest. You know, the results will show eventually. So the second reviewer that I used, that's well known, okay, so I will also talk about reviewers that are not well known but are like hyper effective. But the second one was that I bought this book for like, I think, $8 on eBay. Okay, this is a KAPLAN content review guide. All right, and this is not like, I didn't take like a KAPLAN test. This is a second-hand book right here. And my gosh, guys, for those that are looking for content, like, just to straighten it out, no confusion, like, this is it. And this really helped me, because I needed to know, like, 100% this is what it is, because, you know, I can't get tripped up on NCLEX. You know, I can't get tripped up by these questions. I can't be like, well, maybe is this, or maybe is that, or maybe, man, A and C are kind of close to each other. No, like, this one straightens it out, okay, right here, just this book, okay? I didn't take any KAPLAN test. KAPLAN content review guide, okay? I got this for $8 on eBay. That one, that book was like my encyclopedia, you know, just in case I would go back and look into every like and no joke, it's a lot of content, it's a lot of info, guys. I mean, it could overwhelm you, but take Regina's first, take the virtual trainer first, and then start putting the pieces together with this Kaplan guide, because this one has, like, no joke, it has everything as well. Okay, so I did that one. Now here's like near the end, near the exam, because I had like 2 months to prepare. So I failed November, and then I reapplied again, and thank you Lord, like in California they allowed me to test within, you know, like 27 or 30 days, like a month. You know, I was given an authorization to test. As a matter of fact, I had a heartbreaking call when I called them up, and they said it would take 6 months, but I got it in literally in a month. Okay, so the next reviewer, guys, is huge, and it's really not a known reviewer in my opinion. I never heard about this anywhere. I felt like finding out about this was God hooking me up, like helping me out, because it would just pop up randomly on my Google searches. But I've never heard of this. This reviewer is called Nurse Plus Academy. Nurse Plus Academy, guys, okay? Never heard of it anywhere else. I've never heard anybody say, oh, you know, Nurse Academy, that was great. No. But I had a gut feel that this one was really good. So Nurse Plus Academy, guys, all their questions are based on not like the systems of the body or the nursing like fundamentals like categories, but they are based on the NCLEX categories. Okay, so this test right here, the categories would be basic care and comfort, health promotion and maintenance, you know, management of care. It would be on all those categories, guys, not on like individual things. So, you know, Nurse Plus Academy is just a great like way of, you know, once you put your material together and you want to challenge yourself, that's it, like Nurse Plus Academy. Now the crazy thing about Nurse Plus Academy, a couple of things. Number one is that you cannot make past a certain amount of errors on their tests. Okay, so they have a test, and it's like, it's a barrage of questions, guys, like 40 items I think each, and then you can't make more than 7 mistakes out of 40. So again, just like Remar, that one like sets you up psychologically that you really have to pursue like a high level of understanding of this, you know, like you really cannot make mistakes. And answering that Nurse Plus Academy, like it was like, wow, you know, sometimes I would like make more than 7 mistakes, or sometimes I would make 8, and I would be like, oh, you know, and then sometimes like I would like, you know, not make so many mistakes. I would pass those tests, but it's a lot. So just like on basic care and comfort, I think they have like 7 times 40. So not only do you get the questions, but you also get, you know, that high threshold of quality. Like, man, I cannot make more than 7 mistakes. And then after that, you go through a marathon where they actually put you through all the questions. Like it was like a 400 item marathon exam. Okay, and you cannot pass through the next part without passing the marathon exam. Crazy. But the real positive, uplifting part about this is that they had a meter. Okay, they had a meter on how many percent they think you would pass the NCLEX if you took it today. So every time you pass their tests, that meter like goes up like 10%, 20%, 30%. And by the time I hit like 60, like I felt really good, but I was only halfway through the whole thing. Okay, so I finished Nurse Plus Academy. Okay, answered all those questions, and by the way, it's so cheap. By the way, Nurse Plus Academy. I went through all that, and then after that, guys, they give you a predictor test, and their predictor test is like NCLEX style, which is basically they ask you all these questions, and it goes up and down, just like how the NCLEX like software would, I would say. And that's like your final, and they advise you to take it 3 times. 3 times, guys. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to say that when you make mistakes on Nurse Plus Academy, you got to go through a challenge bank and redo them again perfectly before you move on. So I mean, I love it. Okay, what a great test or challenge for me. And once you take the predictor test, you know, it's just like the NCLEX. It'll shut off too. Same thing. And you have to take it 3 times. So I took it 3 times, passed it 3 times, and you know, they, you know, put it at 100%. They're like, if you took it today, like 100% you would pass the NCLEX. And so, I mean, I was really like happy, like my confidence level, because I really believe in competence before confidence. I think that confidence without competence is really like BS, you know. And I felt like my competence was there, passing that predictor 3 times, and then my confidence starts shooting up because of that. Okay, so Nurse Plus Academy, unbelievable, unbelievable. You gotta try that one. Finally, this unknown resource, super huge, guys. Okay, this one is called Union. I have to read it because I mean it's really not that well known. It's called UnionTestPrep.com. Union. I'm sorry for the kids, they're in the back. UnionTestPrep.com, guys. It is a free resource. Free. I mean, they make their money just on the ads, but I really believe that they should have a program. Okay, hopefully Union Test Prep, you guys can hear me. You need an investor so you can make a program like Remar, a real nice fancy program like Remar. But UnionTestPrep.com, guys, is absolutely free right now. Oh my gosh. I mean, again, I found it randomly. I think it's the man upstairs, you know, just showing me like, here's another guide to test yourself. And just like Nurse Plus Academy, their questions are based on the NCLEX categories, not like, you know, by body, the systems or other stuff. It's all based on that. So they have the same, you know, basic care and comfort. They also have management of care, health promotion and maintenance, pharmacological. It's all there, guys. But again, those questions super duper duper helped me because they're the same way. Really, really great questions. And the reason why, and this is key, guys, I want you to listen to me on this. Like, the reason why I'm introducing all these different like reviewers is because that having different reviewers and answer and pass their questions is really the best confidence booster. Okay, for someone that again has been removed from nursing school, content wasn't there, like that was key for my confidence, because it means that I'm not just like a Uworld person or a Remar person. It means that even if another reviewer asked me, I knew the material. I could still answer their questions, you know, no matter how they reworded it, you know. And so definitely this one right here is a gold mine. Okay, answer those 20 questions they have on each NCLEX category. And I wanted to give another gold mine piece is you got to look into their study guides. They have a study guide, so for free. Okay, for free. They got flashcards for free, they got the questions for free, and then they got a study guide for free. Now the study guide is not for people starting their NCLEX review. This is near the end, okay? Because the study guide is not really like a study guide. It's more like a comprehensive, like putting it together of everything. Because if you click on their study guide at Union Test Prep, like they talk about like what you need to know, okay? And I feel like that should be the end, not the beginning. Because if you're in the beginning and you looked at that, I think it would overwhelm you, because they just go through pages and pages of you got to know this, you got to know that, the nurse has to know this, the nurse has to know that. I think that if I read that in the beginning, it would have like really like overwhelmed me in a bad way. So Remar was still the best in the beginning for content. And so, but this Union Test Prep study guide was absolutely key. Reading that, it's almost like a checklist before going into your NCLEX, like checking it off and be like, do I know this? Do I not know this? Do I know this? And yeah, as I was going through it, like I said, my confidence started shooting up because I was like, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this. So, you know, that's precisely what happened. And so those are the big ones. And of course, you know what, guys, when you have your free time, answer those free NCLEX questions on YouTube. Those are free, okay? Like, they're just free NCLEX questions. I don't know where they get those questions, but answer them on your free time. Like, I would be driving and I would still like turn it up and answer those questions as I was driving. So that's how much like I really studied on the content. I soaked myself up. with that, because I knew that that was my weakness. And it's going to be different for everybody, of course. Like, my situation will not apply to maybe a star student who just got out of nursing school. I mean, you're probably one of those types that are going to take Uworld and then pass it because you have the core, but I didn't have that core. So that's what I had to do to really, like, not only shoot up my competence but my confidence, both of them. Okay, knowing the subject and feeling good about it. Okay, because you need both to get into that NCLEX. My mom was so nice, because, you know, I have 2 kids, and, you know, we really have to take care of them each and every day. And of course, because of the thing, you know, my kid, you know, is studying here, you know, at home, and so I had to study as well. And so my mom was so nice that she actually booked me a room, okay, for like 2 days away from my family, to really, I don't know, get in the zone or do my review. Now, here's the thing I want to say. A lot of people say that, you know, don't review, don't read, don't answer questions like 2 days before the exam. That did not apply to me, and I still suggest that you look into those questions, because, I mean, look, there's no turning back after you take that exam. Think about that, okay? Yes, you can retake it, but that's a month later, $400 later, you got to take that exam. And all that regret, think about that. That 1 whole month where you failed or more, like, you're going to go through a lot of that regret. And in my opinion, as someone that, I mean, I love, like, the competitive nature. I mean, I love boxing, and I love the UFC, for example. Like, I understood that this was just like boxing. It's like, you can't treat this as these questions, you'll never see them again. No, I mean, these questions are there sort of like a job interview for you. You know, you gotta know them, because after this, once you pass, you get your license. Like, I'm gonna have to apply it to a hospital, and I'm gonna have to demonstrate that knowledge. So it's not like my old business degree where it's like, okay, after mathematical economics, I'll never see that again. No, like, in this case, like, you have to soak it in no matter what. Even you know, within like 20 hours before the test. Those 2 days, I was still answering questions. I was still looking into it. And the most important thing, you know, leading up to the test is looking at your absolute weaknesses. The stuff that, like, literally maybe when you were reviewing, you didn't care about them because you felt like the heart, the cardiac system, or the renal system, you know, those were more important. And you didn't care about the eyes, you didn't care about like glaucoma or myotics, mydriatics. You didn't care about, you know, cerebral palsy or Bell's palsy because you felt like the other things were more important. That's exactly what you need to do 2 days before. Any weaknesses, anything that you felt you underestimated with this, read them up again, okay? Because up until the night before, I was still looking into those topics. And guess what? They all showed up on the exam. So I just want to share that. The stuff that that I really like did not look into so much, or those were my weaknesses because my brain was so cramped into the major parts of the NCLEX, I'm telling you guys, they will show up. They will show up. So the night before, looking into my weaknesses, looking at those things. I mean, at that point, you don't really need to do like general reviews anymore, but you gotta look into those certain things. Like, you know, if you don't know, you know, if you forgot at the final part, if you forgot what, you know, CVP, the numbers are for CVP, or the normal range for ICP is 5 to 15. The normal ranges, the peak and trough, or you know, because like knowing the glucose onset, peak, and duration, like at that point is already gonna be basic. Like, you really, those are like, you know, you have to know. But there are certain things, like I said, that maybe you didn't care about, that I think on the few days you have leading into the NCLEX, you gotta look into them, because I'm telling you, they're gonna show up. And that's what happened to me, okay? So, and then they also tell you, hey, you know, get some rest, get some sleep. No, I did not sleep. I had zero sleep, you know, because, I mean, this was like a make it or break it. I mean, I can't, I can't like fail again. And this is different now because this time I really did prepare. I really did go through an overhaul. I really did. And um I mean, I spent the last night, like praying to God, having a conversation, driving around Sepulveda and Culver City, because I couldn't sleep. So I looked for a church, and I couldn't find one. Like a lot of them were like locked up, like I couldn't even park in front of them. So I mean, I really drove around and had this conversation with God, and I just basically said, you know what, Lord, like this is one of those things that I mean, I know like I worked hard for it. I really did. And my wife had this photo of me. Actually, I want to show you here, right here, that this is me answering or studying while my baby was in my arms. Little Hunter. And going through that process, the sacrifice. And I told God, like, Lord, this is really the purpose that I feel I need to do, and I would love to be a nurse, be a medical like nursing professional at this point in my life, because I am getting more mature, I'm getting older, I'm a dad, and I would love for my family, my kids to be proud of me and say I'm an RN. So the one prayer thing that I had with God was like, Lord, please, if it's possible, the questions are gonna pop up, hopefully they're questions that I studied on, and I did study so much, thousands of questions. Lord, as much as possible, please minimize the things that like those out of nowhere questions. And I asked the Lord, please, when it does happen that those questions pop up, and there were, please make me resilient. Please make me resilient. Don't make me like my heart falter, my hope falter. If I see something that I've never seen before, do not make me quit. Make me like resilient, look into it, fight, and still try to get the right answer. So that was my big prayer to Papa God, and thank you, Papa God, for that. That was really, really key, having that conversation with God. And I just said, I'm gonna leave it all to you, and because to be honest, I don't know what I would do if I failed again. I don't know how, my family already sacrificed so much, and I was like, I don't know what I would tell them. What would I tell them if I failed? Then, that would be the worst thing. But you know what? Guys? Because of all that reviewing, like, that wasn't in my mind. Probably 2% to 5% was on my mind, but really, like a huge part was confident when it came to the test. Well, the actual test, guys, whoo, oh man. So the actual test, I will say this, okay, because I know I can't really talk about the test and questions, but couple myths I wanted to bust, okay? Number one, it gets more difficult as it goes. Not if you know the material. I didn't feel that way, okay? I didn't feel like it got more difficult. I just felt like, oh, here's the material. If you know your content, I don't think it feels that way, okay? Number two is you're gonna get a lot of SATA. You're doing well when you're getting a lot of SATA questions. And that is, to me, 100% true. 100% true. Because I failed, remember? The first time I did it, guys, it was all multiple choice, non-stop until 75, and then it shut off. In this case, guys, when I did my NCLEX, it was SATA, 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 multiple choice, SATA, multiple choice, SATA, 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 multiple, SATA, SATA, SATA. It was non-stop SATA, okay? And so I will confirm, I mean, at least for me, when I took the test, that you're doing well when you do get a lot of SATAs. And it was really like a significant amount, okay? Now, for those that are afraid of SATA questions, here's the thing, okay? And I was one of them, okay? I hated the Remar SATAs, okay? And it really, the SATAs would usually like, dampen my confidence because, of course, if you make one mistake, if you don't click on a certain box, it feels bad, because it's like, oh, it's so, The SATA strategy I did was I saw it on, I think, nursing.com, where they said, you know, you have to literally block out the screen like this with your hand, and then you have to one by one answer if it's true or false. Is this true? A, is this true or false? Yes or no? And then you go down like this, and that's how you answer the SATAs. So that was gold for me, okay? But you know what, guys? The SATAs on the NCLEX were not like crazy like the reviewers. Like, they were literally, I wouldn't say much easier, but they were more direct on what they were looking for. So for those that are afraid of SATA questions, on the actual, guys, follow that one by one. Is it true? Don't just like, you know, go through it and just click, 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 click. Don't do that, okay? One by one, guys, okay? That's how the SATAs work. And how you know you're doing well, or at least for me, is that you get a lot of those SATA questions. Also, another thing that helped me is to not touch the mouse. I didn't touch the mouse. I would have my hands on my my lap as I was looking at the screen. As I was looking at the question, guys, my hands were on my lap or my pockets. Why? Because I didn't want to be trigger happy. That was one of those things that, you know, I guess when I was doing my reviewers, I was just like click, 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 click. No, because in this case, the test is adaptive, so you'll never go back. You can never go back into the past question, okay? Either you pass that one or you don't, and then the next questions are gonna be based on that. So guys, take your time, okay? Put your hands in your pockets. Don't get trigger happy with the mouse. And the other thing is, you guys know, as reviewers of NCLEX, you guys know that you have those questions where it's the opposite. They're looking for the opposite, you know, further teaching, further instruction. This patient needs more review on this. What is an indication that they don't know what, you know, what the teaching was? Those are absolute traps, okay? And so that's why you can't hold on to the mouse like this. I mean, unless you're a genius like my sister who did it in 75 questions. You can't just hold on to the mouse and click, 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 click. Dude, hands on your pockets or your lap, look at the question and literally break it down. What is this question saying? What is it looking for? Look at the options, and again, process of elimination too. You know, even if you strongly feel you see the answer in like A, for example, guys, please read B, C, and D. Okay, please read B, C, and D. It's so important that you do that, that you read every option, because you never know if, you know, D was a better option than A. You gotta understand, this NCLEX isn't about like, oh, here's the direct answer. Never. It's always like, which one is the best answer? So you're gonna have like answers that they all make sense, but which one is the best? So that requires that you read every single option. Even if you feel strongly about A, even if 90% of your heart says B, that's the answer, no, please read it. And read the question again before you click on the answer. Read the question again, because you might miss out on the reverse ones where they are looking for the opposite of that. And I got a lot of those SATA, like I said. I had 2 drag and drops. And, you know, once I passed 75, I had a big smile on my face. Big smile. Because I knew I wasn't in the territory of where I was, you know, back in November. You know, it was like, and in this time I wasn't aiming for a 75. So once I saw 76, 77, 78, 79, I mean, I was so happy. I was super duper happy. By a certain amount, my computer automatically froze and said, do you want to take a break? I suggest you take that break, okay? It's good to take a break, and I learned this from my sister, to like just get all that anxiety out, wash your face, take a leak. I remember doing jumping jacks in the restroom. I took a leak, took some jumping jacks, prayed to God, washed my hands, came back, sorry. And so that break was absolutely needed, because after that, like, I think I took a break at like 80 something. My computer shut off at like 121. 121. Okay, that's where it shut off. And did I feel that dreaded feeling that most people had, like, oh my God, like, no, I didn't feel that feeling. Actually, I was so happy because, a lot of these reviewers, like, prepared me. A lot of the reviewers prepared me for that moment. Like, a lot of the material, no joke, even if it was SATA, they were there. Even the tricky ones that, were also the tricky ones in the reviewers were also there. So, I mean, yes, I did make some mistakes, and I do know those mistakes. I remember them right now. But, I mean, after the 121, I didn't, have this feeling of dread, or I want to puke, or, oh, I failed. I mean, this is like common stuff you see in other post NCLEX YouTubes. I mean, I didn't feel that at all. After the test, they make you answer this like survey thing, and no, don't even do it. It's not worth it. I mean, your brain already dumped a lot. Like, why would you need to answer the NCLEX like survey? So I called my proctor and I said, you know what? I'm not going to answer this. And I called my wife, and my wife was happy, but at the same time, knowing what happened in November, she was still not 100%. She was so nervous for me. Because of what happened last November when I said, oh man, it was easy, and then I failed the NCLEX. But me, I took the test, so I knew in my heart that, I mean, I left it all out there, and I felt very happy, very satisfied with my performance on the test. Now, the next 2 days, 48 hours, guys, unless you're absolutely super confident and you don't want to ruin your day if you really did fail, okay, fine, do the Pearson VUE trick. But in my case, like, I did not do the Pearson VUE trick. I literally avoided it. I said, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna put ourselves through all this anxiety. We're gonna leave it until they tell me I passed it, here's your license. So the next day, like, we just had fun as a family. We went to this nice outdoor mall. We had fun with the kids, with my sister, and I didn't feel that dread, that feeling of dread. I would only feel it if I really consciously think about it, but I didn't feel that feeling of dread. Now, the night before, so the results was gonna come out like morning today. The night before, my wife, I didn't know, was like so panicked about this. She was like searching about, finding out the results. And one person on Facebook said something about checking the board of nursing. And so I checked it at midnight, or 1 a.m. No, at 1 a.m. because we couldn't sleep. I checked the board before Pearson VUE, and that's where I saw my license. I was like, I saw it and I was like, and I cried. Like, I don't know if you ever seen like a man cry, but I cried like like that much, because I let everything out, all my emotions, for the past few months, like doing this, and I let it all out. And I cried and I cried and I cried, and we hugged each other, and wow, like, what a surreal experience to see my name there. It said registered nurse. So that was before Pearson VUE, so I didn't have to do the quick results because I saw my name there with my license, and that's it. I'm an RN. It's so great to say that. So, I think that, my experience, I think this is one of the few unheard stories, or maybe people just don't talk about it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure the majority out there, you did great in nursing school, and you did great on your exit exam, and then you went straight into your Uworld, which fortified your knowledge. But for sure, I know that someone out there around the world, I mean, you're in my position, where your core wasn't where it needs to be. Your knowledge about the core content isn't where it needs to be, and you don't know who to believe. You don't know if you're just gonna be like answering questions and looking at rationales. Is that really where you need to be? So hopefully this video gets to you, and I'm just doing this because, I mean, the man upstairs, God help me Praise be to God. And so I'm going to use this platform to get to you, wherever you are, whoever you are around the world, nursing student, NCLEX, you are going to do this, okay? You just got to really know the realities of competence and confidence. You got to get them both together before you sit down there and you take that test with confidence. Like, my heart was racing out of my chest, yes, because it's nerves, but like my mind was like clear. It was clear. And the strategies of not rushing into the questions, looking at it one by one, being very careful, understanding that this is an adaptive test, that it's not ever going to go back, and you have to really get a lot of them right, really helped me, because I sat there with a clear mind answering those questions. So again, thank you for watching this video. Again, I mean, this is just me like paying it forward, okay? Wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, do understand that this is a golden opportunity, that you are going to take the NCLEX, okay? A golden opportunity. And so cherish it, enjoy it, you know, definitely go through the process. That's the important part. Go through the process and leave it all to God after you're done. As they say, you know, do the best you can and leave God to the rest. You know, leave God to do the rest. And that's basically what you need to do. Do your best and then leave it all to God on the exam. Know your inspiration. If you have family, you're doing it for them or you're doing it for you. Know your inspiration, okay? That will keep you strong and going through this process as you are reviewing every day, okay? So that's it. Thank you to my family. Thank you to God, of course, and the reviewers, you know, that I found these like golden pieces of treasure all over the internet. Thank you so much for helping me get my license. And yeah, I'm an RN now, so now I have a new challenge, which is to go through all the skills. You know, I got to go through all of that. Thank you for watching. I know that this one was a long one, but I felt like, man, this is it. This is the video. So eventually, maybe I'll break this down at some point into like little minute things, but for now, that's what I got. I'm an RN 48 hours later, and it's the best feeling on earth. So God bless you all on your review. Congrats to those that are going to pass. I mean, own it. You're going to pass it this year, okay? So this is Troy D. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.